Welcome back. It is week 1 of Pantry Challenge. I am starting a little bit early because I'm in, you can see it's still December, but what I'm doing is I'm going to get ready for dinner and we are going to eat some chili. I just pulled that chili out of the freezer. So what I'm going to do is first wash off the title of it, because that's just blue. And then I'm going to get it into a cold water defrost just because it is completely frozen. And then over here, I am working on prepping some bacon for the week because I find that I don't eat bacon unless it's prepped. So we're getting a few things going. This is the second batch. I'm just going to do 2. And then I did get an order of groceries in, and so that had some toothpicks and it had a bunch of meat. So I said I was waiting on beef. I haven't found ground beef on a great deal yet, but I did find some other meat. So let me show you what I got. I already put it in the freezer this morning. Okay, I put it in the freezer, but I didn't organize it. So I have a little bit of ground beef in there, 2 packages. It was like $2.99 a pound for 80/20. And then I have some, what did they call these? The little steaks that look kind of like ground beef. Those were on sale as well. And then also some like skirt steak, really thin steak that I can use to make a stir fry. So I'm excited about that. And an update on how the freezer is looking. We have been eating through actually these single serve meals, which wasn't originally part of the plan, but that's okay. That's what they're there for. This week was just a lot busier than I expected. Plus I'm using a new editing software, so it's taking a little longer. So I'm spending more time editing and less time cooking. So I am just going to get this bacon finished up, and I think that's all the cooking that I'm going to do today. It is a Sunday, so it's a bowling day, so we're going to be heading out to bowling shortly. Another day, another freezer meal. I am going to eat this meatloaf that we made last year, like about a year ago. So I just pulled that out of the freezer. We now have a few things left in the freezer. I thought we had an extra chili, but we actually have meatballs in a red sauce, which is great because we didn't like the chili, so that's fantastic. I'm also going to cook up 2 potatoes and probably just find a frozen vegetable, and that will be dinner for tonight. Okay, new day, and I've done a little bit of cooking. I made the last of the soups in my soup video, and so I have some curry soup, and we did good here. We pantry challenged, so I used up the last of the curry paste that was up on my shelf. I also used some rice noodles, which was something that I wanted to use up, and I used a packet of 2023 squash. So that's great. We are doing it. We have been very successful. We're still eating on that. I think I already showed you the meatloaf. That's what this is. We did meatloaf, and this is just a veggie tray left over from a cookie party that I had. So I will be cooking something at some point in this video, but so far I've just been eating through the things that we have. So timing is a little interesting. I filmed my pantry tour video before buying the things to make the breakfast video that came out in December. So I do have those things left, which is some chicken and some mini waffles. So I've also been eating little chicken and mini waffles, and that's been delicious. So I will be back when we are cooking something. We are finally in the kitchen cooking. It is actually Christmas Day. The cats are fighting over on the couch. It is currently 9 a.m. and we are having my parents over at noon. There's no kids here, so we haven't done presents or anything. I'm also early for, what are we calling this? Pantry challenge. So we're doing pantry challenge a little early, but that's okay. I'm going to start by making a little Christmas garlic bread. I don't know the order of which my videos are coming out yet, but I recently made cinnamon rolls with garlic instead of cinnamon, and they were delicious. And so I'm going to make cinnamon rolls again, but not cinnamon rolls, like garlic and garlic bread. And I want to do it in the shape of a tree. So I'm going to do that. I'm also going to use up the chicken legs, so that's good. So that was 2 cups of water and a 1/2 tablespoon of sugar. I need 1.5 tablespoons of yeast. And this is just the standard dough that I usually use. It comes from a different YouTuber channel. I'll link it in my post below. But I use this for cinnamon rolls. I don't really use it if I'm making just bread, but if I'm making rolls or cinnamon rolls, I use it. And what I did was I should mix this first. Let's mix this and get it proofing. I'm making a 1/2 batch. It's a pretty large batch, so. Okay. So what I've done with this recipe, like a lot of my recipes, is I've printed it out on just like photos. I got them printed at, I don't know, Walgreens or something. And I made this and I just typed over it. So I actually have reopened my Etsy shop, and you can get the background for this and then you can type over it. And I have instructions on how to do that in there. So if you're interested, go check it out. All right, we are looking nicely proofed. I'm going to add in the oil and then the sugar and the salt, and I'm going a little bit light on the sugar because I know this is a sweeter dough, and since I'm going to go with a savory flavor, I want to make sure not to have too sweet of a dough. And then we're going to add in 4 to 4.5 cups of flour, and I have just been rolling through flour this year. That's about 1. I need to refill. I'm going a little heavy there. There's 4. And we might need an extra half, we might not. So let's mix it. And I can see it, that's a little bit stickier than I would want it, so I'm going to add in that remaining flour. Okay, I think we're good now. I'm going to take this all off. And this dough is a little bit sticky, but I think it'll be fine by the time it rises. Do I want to add a little bit more flour? No, I'm not going to. Here's what it's looking like. It's just a little stickier than normal. Can I pick it up though? Well, I'm going to add more flour. Okay, I think I'm liking this texture a lot better. Sometimes I forget what direction I need to go. Okay, so this is no longer completely sticking to the bowl. I can get it out, which is great. So now, get a little oil in that bowl. And this is still quite sticky of a dough, which usually it's not, so that's interesting, but that's okay. The stickier the dough, the softer the bread. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do is get this covered. I'm going to stick it in the microwave with the microwave off. You can also put like a warm cup of water in it, like a boiling cup of water next to it, to speed up the process, but I don't think I plan to speed up the process today. I'm just going to put it in like this. Now there's still quite a while before people are coming over, and I do want to get the chicken ready though, at least mostly ready, because that's less that I have to do later. I'm gonna foil line this pan, and I'm making chicken legs because we need to use up the drumsticks, and this is going to use all the drumsticks up at once. So this is going to be great. In other pantry challenge news, I did make, oh, I'm out of breath from running around and grabbing everything. But I did make some barbecue meatballs, and I made them with like pineapple, so I used a zucchini pineapple. So the only zucchini pineapples that are from last year is one that doesn't have pineapple in it anymore, or a zucchini in it. It's just the juices that were left over. So that's good. We used that up. All right, so I've double lined this pan, and I'm going to get it sprayed. And what we're having is chicken drumsticks and like diced potatoes roasted. And are these frozen still? They're still a little, they're still a little bit frozen. They've been in here since, I don't know, a few days. That one is huge. Like, look at the size difference here. Isn't that crazy? Can you see these? Oh my goodness. And then for the veggie, I'm just going to do whatever veggie and microwave it. I'm not going to do any special thing. Wait a minute. All right, there's one package. Gosh, that would probably even be enough. Oh, we'll make them all, and we'll eat them throughout the week. because these are humongous. Now I don't want to salt them quite yet because that could draw out the moisture, but I think I might put all the other spices on them. And it's really simple. I'm just doing garlic, onion, and black pepper, and then we will come back and do the salt later. Whoa. Oh, that was onion powder. So this one hasn't gotten onion powder. I think I'm only going to pepper the one side because pepper's not my favorite, and I think one side is enough pepper. And then I'm going to get these in the fridge, and then I'll pull them out a little later, and hopefully I'll remember that they still need salt. All right, now I'm going to use these medium-sized potatoes that I have from the garden. I'm gonna get them washed up, and then we'll cut them up. Okay, they are all washed up. I still have my pajamas on, but I was a little too hot, and now I'm all soaked from washing these. But because I'm doing this a few hours early, I'm going to get these potatoes into some water because otherwise they will likely brown, and I do not want browned potatoes. And I did wash these very carefully because potatoes from the garden easily can taste like dirt if you don't get them cleaned enough. Now I purposefully selected the ones that I thought needed to be used first. I'm going to get a little bit more water on these just to make sure they're completely covered, and then in about an hour we will put the bread together, and then probably 2 hours we will get the chicken going. And hopefully I remember to bring you along with me for that because I will have people here at that point. Our dough has risen beautifully. I am going to shake it out and cut it in half, and I'm going to try to make a Christmas tree out of it. I need a thing. Okay, so 1/2 will be the top and 1/2 will be the bottom. I got the rolling pin out. I don't know if I'm gonna need it. Probably not, but I'll set it here just in case. And I don't know if I'm gonna need this one either. So the plan is to try to make this into a big rectangle. Well, let's see. And then I need to cut this into a Christmas tree, and somehow I need to cut the other piece into the same size Christmas tree. What I'm realizing is I'm gonna have to transfer it, so it might make more sense to transfer it first and then cut it. I think I figured out what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do it all in a rectangle first, and then the extra pieces will just turn into something. And then we'll cut the tree shape all at once. Okay, so now I need to make another rectangle, or clearly I'm doing this for the first time and I did not read the directions. I just saw an idea and thought, that's a great idea. I need to get this butter a little bit more soft than it is. Okay, to this we are going to add garlic and parsley. Decent amount of garlic. I'm leaving those spices out because I still need to get the potatoes seasoned. Let's see here. I need to remember to keep some for the top. I think it needs a little more garlic. Okay. So the goal is to put probably most of this down in the bottom. Spread it out. And this is a whole stick of butter. Okay, we are going to keep this for the top. And let's get our second one rolled out to approximately the same size. Okay, I think we're about there. So now I need to transfer it. Okay, we did pretty good. So I'm gonna have this be the bottom, I think, or the top. I don't know. Trying to think about how I want this to go. So we're going to do tree and then in. So what if I lightly draw it first? Well, and then this one. Maybe not quite there, maybe here. I think this I want to be a little over. Okay, we're just gonna go for it. So now what do I do with all these pieces? I need to figure out where I'm gonna put them, because I think there might not be room on here because it'll all puff up. Do we think we can make another one? Just like, so what if I put, oh, this is, this is not big enough. I have a spare little piece of parchment here that'll help us cover the whole thing. And we can make another one. So that'll just be the extra piece. So here's how we're gonna do it. We're gonna practice here first, and we're just going to do a little twist on these. I didn't anticipate this making 2 trees. Okay, well, that was a bonus. Here's how this is looking. Well, I might as well add a little bit of this while I have it out. Okay, now for the big one, which I don't need this anymore. So let's see, from like here. I think I'm going a little closer to the center this time. Not necessarily on purpose, but it's just how it's turning out. Okay. Now, do I want to make sure that I'm twisting in a similar direction? Cute. I think we'll go the opposite direction here, which is the opposite of what I did on the last one. Okay, let's see. Last little bit of butter. This is cute. Okay, so here's my plan. I'm going to let these proof one more time for just a little bit. They'll rise to be, I don't know, maybe about double in size, maybe not quite that much. And then I'll get them baked. I do need to season the potatoes. I'm just going to dry them off, add some oil, salt, pepper, garlic, and onion powder. Then we'll salt the chicken, throw it all in the oven, and then I will be showing you at the end. Hopefully I remember how this all looks. People will be coming in about an hour, so I am going to end this video here, and I'll just link in clips of everything that I make. All right, these are in the oven. I put the top one on, which is the extra pieces. I put that in first, and then the bottom one is cooking away. Okay, this turned out so stinking cute. Look at that. And then here's the fake tree. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here and you haven't yet, please subscribe. I'd love to see you. If you haven't seen the Pantry Challenge kickoff video, it'll be here. And if you're interested in seeing what we did last year at Pantry Challenge, I'll pop it here. Thanks so much for being here, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.